start. Okay, let's start. Okay, Anattalakkhanasutta. Ekam samayam bhagava varanasya viharati satipatani mikate tako bhagava chavadye bhikkhu amante si bhikkhavo tenti bhikkhu bhagato bato pachasoso bhagava Rupam bhikkhave anatta rupancham idam bhikkhave attam abhavisan naidam abadaya samveteya deveta rupe evam me rupan hotu evam ma ahositi yasma bhikkhave rupan anatta tasma rupan abadaya nacha labati rupe evam me rupan mahositi vedana anatta vedana idam bhikkhave abhavisana yam vedana abhaya samvateya atacha
Vedanaya evame
vedana maohisiti tasma
Jasma
vedana
Vedana Anatta
tasma
Tasma Vedana
abadaya
Apadaya
samvatati
Samvatati
nacha
Nachena
labati vedana
Vedanaya Evame
vedana
Vedana
hotu
Hotu Evame
vedana
Vedana
mahositi
Mahositi
Sanya
Ananya Sanya Cha
Idam
Idam
Bhikkhave
Bhikkhave Atta
Abhavisana
Abhavisana
Idam
Idam Sada
Abadaya
Badaya
Savatya
Samvateya Nameta Cha Sama
Chasanya
Evam me sana hotu
Evame
evam
Sayama
me sana
Ohositi
ahositi
Yasmajako
yasma
Bhikkhave
chocho
Sanya
vichana
Sanya
sana
Abadaya
labadaya
Savatati
samvatati
Nacha
nachana
Labati Sanyaya
manyaya evam
Evame
me
Sanya
sana
Hotu
evam me sana
Mahositi
ahositi
Sankhala
Anatta
Anattara
sankara cha idam
Bhikkhave
bhikkhave atta
Abhavisati Naidam
Nam
Sankhala
na
Abadaya
yimeka sankara
Bhagavati Labeta cha
Aja
Sankhalesu
ru
Evame
evan me
Sankhala
sankara
Hotu
hontu
Evame
evan
Sankhala
me sankara
Mahohisunti
nam na
Yasmachako Bhikkhave
bhikkhave
Sanya
sankara anatta
Tasma
tasma sankara
Sankhala
abadaya
Abadaya Savatati
savatani nacha
Nacha
labati
Labati
sankare su
Evame
evan
Sankara
me
Hotu
sankara
Evame
hontu
Sankara
evan me sankara ma
Mahohisunti
ahesiti
Vijnana Anatta Vijnana
Antabina
Idam
Nacha
Bhikkhave
Idam Bhikkhave
Idam
Abhavisana
Vijnana Abadaya Savateya Labeta
Evam me
Evame
Vinana
Vijnana Hotu Evame Vijnana Maohositi
Siti Yasma
Yasmachako
Cheko Bhikkhave
Bhikkhave Vijnana Anatta
Atan
Tasma
Ma
Vijnana
Vinanam
Abadaya
Abadaya
Savatati
Samatati
Nacha
Nachan Labati
Labati
Vinane
Vinane
Ivam
Evame
me
Vijnana
Vinana Hoto
Evame
Evam me
Vijnana
Vinanam
Maohositi
Ahositi
Tam kim manyata bhikkhave
Demangave Dupa Nicham Va Anicham Vati Anicham Bante Yam Nicham Dukam Vatam Sukam Vati Dukam Bante Yam Anacham Dukam Rimana Nama Namnokam Samalupat Sitom Etam Mama
Isome anati no hetam bante
Ante
Vedana Nicha wa
Nicham
Anicca
Van Anicham
Bhante
Vati Anicham Bante Yam Mana
Ampanicca
Nicham
Dukkam Vata
Dukam
Sukham Vati
Bhati
Dukkam Bhante
Dukante Yam
Namitha
Pananis
Dukkam Viparinamadamam Kalanutam
Anutam
Samanupasito Etamama
Sammanupasitom
Esomamasmi Esome
eso me
Atati No
atati no
Hetam
hitam
Bhante
bante
Sanya
anya
Nicha wa
nicha wana
Anicca
nicha
Bhati
vani
Anicca
anicha
Bhante
bante yam
Anicca Dukkam Vata
bantam
Sukham
sukam
Vati
vati
Dukkam
dukam
Bhante
bante te yam
Yapanichan
palang
dukkam viparinamadamam
viparanam
kalanutam
kalam nutam
samanupasitum etam
etam
eso
mama
masi eso
eso
me
me
atati no
atati
hetam bante.
tamante.
Okay,
Vijnana
where are we now? Sankala.
Sankara.
Sankala ni
Anicca
panichani
va anicca va tu
ni
anicca
Vati
vandeya
anichan
anicca
dukkam
vatam
vati
vante
sukham
dukam
bante.
vandeyam
Nichan dukkam viparinamadamam kalanutam
Anutam
samanupasitam
samanupasitum
etam
mama
mama eso
masi
masi eso me
no
atati
he
no
tam
hetam
mante
bante.
Vinanam
Vinyanani
nechang
chanwa
wa
ani
anichang wa te
chanwati
anichang
ni
wa te
bante.
yam
Ni
pananichang dukam
chandukam
wa
wata
am sukam wa
sukhamwati
te
sukham
dukam
bante
bante yam
yapanichan
pananichang
dukkam
dukam
viparinamadamam
pari
kalanutam samanupasitum
samanam tutam
etamama
amamal
esomasi
isaman
esome
esome
atati
atam no
no
hitam
hetam
bante
bante. Tasmati ha bhikkhave
Awe yam
yakinchi
kinchi rupan
rupam
atitana
atyetana
kata
tata pachupanam
Padwamna
ajata wa
Achetam wa
bahida wa
manilam wa
olalika wa
Kahidam wa
sukama wa
Sukaman wa
hina wa
Inam wa
panina wa
Samwa
dure
Yam Dure
santike wa
Santike wa
dupam dupam
Samadupam
neta
Netam
mama neso
Mama
hamasmi
Neso
nameso
Hasami
atati ewametam
Ewa
yada buddham
Metam Vatam
hasamapanyaya databam
Samapatnaya Datam
yang kaci wedana
Ivedana
atita nakata pachupana
Tapana
ajatang wa
Anwa
bahita wa
Madita wa
olalika wa sukama wa hina
Sukamawa
wa
Hinawa
panita wa
Panitawa
yadure
Yedure
santike wa
Santike
tapa wedana eta
Vedana
mama
Netam
nesoha
Mama
masi nameso atati
Nanti
ewa meta
Ewa
yada
Metam
buddham
Yata
sama
Buddham
panyaya
Sama Panyaya
databang
Natabang
yang kaci
Kachi Sanya
hanya atita nagata pachupana
Pachupana
ajata wa
Asyatnawa
bahida wa olalika
Ola
wa
Vika wa
sukama wa
Sukama wa
wa
Hina wa
panita wa
Muna wa
ya dure santike
Yedudure
wa
Sabha
tapa
Sabha Satna
sangya
Netam
neta
Mama
mama neswamasi nameso
Nisamasi
atati ewa mita yada buddham
Anya
sama
Kabuddha
panyaya
Sama Panyaya
databang ya ye ke sangkala atita nagata
Na
pachupana
Pachupanya
ajata
Atitana
wa bahida
Dawa
wa sukama wa
Ola
hina wa
Wa
hina wa panina wa ye dure santike wa
Imresa Sangha
sangkala neta
Karane
mama
Netam
neswa
Netam
masina meso
Neso Hasamas
atati ewa
Eva
mewa yada
Metam
buddha samapanyaya databang
Dada
yang kinci
Kinchi
yanam
Venanam
atita
Adana
nagata
Natavan
pachupana ajata wa
Tatama
bahida wa
Wadwa
olalika wa
Wa Dewa
sukama wa
Sukaman
hina wa
Vedenam
panina wa
Panitampa
yang dure
Anda
santike wa
Sankewa
pangwiyanam
Vedanam
neta mama neswa masmi na meso atati
Watati
ewa
Eva
mitam
Me Tam
yada butam samapanyaya
Samapanaya
databang.
Tatabang
We're going to finish. Evam pasam
Pasang
bhikkhave
Pikawe
sutawa arya
Sava Arya
sawako
Savako
rupasmihi
Rupasmi
nibidanti
Nibindati
vedanaya
Vedanaya
yapi nibidanti
Nibindati
yapi
Sanya Yapi
nibidanti
Adimandati
sankaresu
Sankara
nibidanti
Resutmi
vinanam
Nivinana
mi nibidanti
Sinti
nibidam
Nana
virajati viruddhaga vimutati tasame
Vimutasmi
vimutati
Vimiti Aman
hoti
hoti
hinajati
Ti
tam
Vasubhama
chariyam
Chariya
karaniyam
Yamam
parayitvam iti pajati
Taya Tipajanati
tamavocha bhagava atamanam
Atamana Panchavanya
panchavajiyati bhagavato
Bhagavato
vocho
Vasitam
abhinandanti
Abhinadunte
imas
Abhinadunte
asminsha panavya kana samipanyana
panasve
Pancavatiyanam Padaya
Anupadaya Asavehi Chitam Mochayoso Tena Gopane Samayena Lokera Arahanto Hote
Sadhu. Okay. Tired. All right. I remember I chant this one. I mean by heart, no. So at that time I was about, I think about 15 years ago. At that time I don't even know the Pali grammar. So I remember that people told me that it's important to chant. So I really chant everything from beginning to end. At that time I don't know much about Pali grammar. I don't even know what is locative. I don't even know present tense, past tense, or a little bit knowledge on it. I don't even know all the past participle, but I think it's okay. Sometimes we don't need to learn so much of the Pali grammar. We can just memorize the words, the sentence, and then just try to get some dharma from it. You know, it's only when you want to learn more Pali grammar, then you go words by words. Today, since it's the basic class, we will not go words by word, but we will go for more dharma. All right. So this in case the question come up. Yeah, hopefully I don't think so, but it will be important to know this. Okay, thanks for chanting with me. So we go for the content. All right. Okay, now we go back to this book. All right. This book, the Buddha is teaching. So on the page one, where's the page? Okay, page 73. Yeah, 73. So I hope you look at the footnote. The footnote actually is really more important because it gives the very important detail, right? So the content here is same with it's a translation for this Anattalakkhanasutta. And this sutta is coming from two sources. Mahavaga is under the Vinaya Pitaka, right? Page 13, and Samyutta Nikaya is under the Khanda Samyutta, right? So I already put in my document there. Okay. Right. So, okay, there are some important point here. Okay. So the first one is soul, atta in Pali. So let's look at the meaning explained here. What is soul here? Right. So because just now we say atta anatta, the soul is explained here as a permanent, unchanging entity. It's like the Christianity, after they pass away, they unite with the God and live forever. So it's something that unchanged. But in Buddhism, we don't have the idea of this soul atta. Okay. Okay. And then it has some points about the 5 aggregates and then so on. This one I copied to my notes and we will discuss from there, all right? Because the book is a very short. So let's go from beginning. All right. So now when we want to study sutta, so this is considered as a second discourse by the Buddha, right? Or sometimes in a third discourse in the Tipitaka, right? In sequence, we call it the in sequence. Because in between there's another one called, there will be another one called Hemawata Sutta, okay? It's considered as the second one. So this sutta is also interesting to look. Only few people, I think most, Mahasi Sayadaw, he did a teaching on this. So it's also interesting to look at his book. Now we look at this one, anatta, right? So we look at let's say if we are going to translate this title, first there are many ways, not plus atta. Of course, this is not Pali called soul, non-self, or sometimes non-soul. Now, just now we are talking about this soul, right? Soul. So atta normally translate as what? Self or soul. So according to the text just now, soul is something that, okay, soul is this one. Now, in how many regions that we have this concept of soul? How many regions? How many regions in the world accept the idea of soul? Okay. So
Hinduism,
okay.
Christianity,
Hinduism. Okay. So yeah. Christianity.
Christianity,
Okay. Some more. That's all.
Islam.
Okay. Islam. How about those like Jainism? No, right? Jainism, yes or no? The Jainism, yes or no? Have you studied about this religion? No. Not familiar.
Taoist.
Taoism. Taoism. Okay. What is the concept of Taoism? What is the concept of Taoism?
Burn your stick, burn your paper.
That one is I don't think it's real Taoism. That is more on the Buddhist the what we call it Chinese culture. Taoism talking about the path, right? The path, something like that.
Oh, pure world.
Or Pure Land. You're talking about Pure Land.
Pure land.
Okay. Pure Land. Okay.
Mahayana. Pure Land is Mahayana.
Okay, Mahayana. All right. Mahayana has this concept of where they're reborn in what? In Western paradise. Okay. But do they have the idea of soul? Yes or no?
Yes,
Because
7 days come back.
So you
come
all
home.
believe that there's a soul? Because I never studied this in detail, so I also not so sure. But definitely we know Hinduism soul, because the purpose of Hinduism is what? To reborn and what? To reunite with the big Atta. Okay, big Atta means the Brahma. After that, right? Okay, now Christianity is, so when the Christian pass away, where they want to go?
Heaven.
Heaven. And then go to heaven to what? Go to heaven?
Live there forever.
Okay, go to heaven and be what?
Be
Is the
with
Jesus
God.
Christ in heaven? Is
To
the
be
Jesus
with
Christ in
God.
heaven? To be with the God. God be what? I think they call it Trinity, right? Unite with the
The
Trinity.
Son, the Holy Spirit, and the don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the Trinity? I think you all know, and I also know that what. So we know Jesus Christ.
I think they with the God,
God.
what?
Another one is that.
The Father.
No, our Father.
Father is the God, right?
Yeah, the
The
Spirit. Spirits.
Spirit?
Spirit
the Holy
and
Spirit.
Holy Spirit.
Holy
Okay.
Spirit and yes.
And
Okay,
the Father
alright.
and Son, tiga orang.
Jesus
Father
is the
and
Son. God is the Father, all right? Okay.
Yes.
Now Islam. Islam is talking about Allah, right? So go to. So we don't know. So I think we better don't say about Allah. In Malaysia, it's very sensitive. Cannot, better don't use the word Allah. Okay, so we leave it. Okay. Now they all have the idea of this soul. Okay, so this region has the idea of soul concept, right? Okay. Now, so in Buddhism, we are talking about in Buddhism, or okay, in Dharma, better use the word in Dharma, there is
No soul.
non-soul. Okay, non-soul. Non-soul, non-self. So later we are explain about what is this non-soul, non-self. Okay, now second word is lakkhana. What's the meaning of lakkhana?
Characteristic. Mark.
Characteristic. Mark. Okay. Sutta is discourse. Okay. So how do you translate the Anattalakkhanasutta?
Non-soul discourse.
Non-self discourse.
The discourse
On non-self.
yeah, last time actually at the beginning of the when the Buddhism spread to the Western world, they use the word non-soul. Now straight away use the word non-self, because not to confuse with the idea of soul. That's why nowadays only non-self. Okay, now we have the idea. Now the self, what's the meaning of this self? Or we have this word self, atta, right? So atta is talking about the idea. It's something that not changing, created by God, all right? Or something that we call it exists forever. Forever, even after past, yeah. So that's why after Hinduism, when they pass away, they reunite with the big Atta, Brahma, and Christianity go to heaven, unite with the Trinity, and the Islam also something like that. Okay, so we just skip the Islam thing. All right, right. Now, what is this marks? All right, what is this characteristic? If you translate as a characteristic of non-self, like Anattalakkhanasutta. Okay, so the discourse of the characteristic. What's the meaning of characteristic here? What kind of characteristic? Right? Okay, so far Tilakkana, right? So Tilakkana. So Tilakkana. Tilakkana is
Anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Anicca,
Dukkha,
Dukkha,
Anatta.
Anatta. Okay.
Impermanent,
Impermanent, suffering, and non-self. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
non-self.
All right. Okay. So far we will be all right. Now let's go for this question. So we have 5 questions. So every time when you want to write a thesis or want to write an essay, look for the question. Who preach this one, and to whom? Okay, who preached this discourse?
The Buddha,
The
Okay,
Buddha, Gautama Buddha.
To whom?
the Panchavagya,
Five
The
bhikkhus.
Okay, the
Panchavagya.
Panchavagya. So at that time, they attend Arahant yet or not?
Not yet.
Attend yet?
Not yet.
So not yet. So what is their level of enlightenment?
Only
Sotapanna,
Kondanya.
Kondanya.
So 5 attend what? Which level?
Sotapanna.
Okay, first
Sotapatti.
stage, all right?
All
First stage of enlightenment. All right? Okay, they already not yet, okay, not yet attain the arahantship. Okay.
Arahantship.
When we say the word arahantship, do you know what's the meaning of arahantship?
Yes.
What is this ship? What's the meaning of this ship? You know? Do you know the meaning of this ship?
Arahanthood.
Okay, arahanthood. Okay, what's the meaning of this hood? All right. So in detail, we are talking about the arahata phala. Right? The fruition. If you learn the Abhidhamma, you know arahant. Okay.
Arahant.
Okay. Now, where is the place?
Isipatana Migadaya.
Okay,
Migadaya.
so it's the
Isipatana.
Migadaya. Right.
Migadaya.
Deer Park. So Deer
Yeah.
Park, like we say just now, is a sometimes nowadays people translate as a deer sanctuary. But actually, beside the deer, there's also other
Animal.
things, other animals. All right. So it makes sense that it's not just a deer, but there are other animals. So when?
Benares.
When?
Then.
Okay. When? All right. So you remember that the Buddha,
Moon day.
after 2 months, he preached the which sutta? After 2 months from the
After 2
enlightenment, he
months,
preached the
Dhammacakka.
Dhammacakka. Okay, Dhammacakka, then he went there. How many months he go? He go there 2 months, right? Then he
Yes.
preached the Dhammacakka. After Dhammacakka, how many days? All right, so now, okay, so we look at the story. Now, to get this data, you really need some to read properly, right? Okay, now. So I sent you this document already, right? How many of you read in advance? All right. So at that time, right. So on thus becoming Sotapanna, Venerable Anyasi Kondanya. That is after we talk about Dhammacakkappavattana-sutta. He asked the Buddha for the state of bhikkhu. So then Buddha called him Ehi bhikkhu, right? Then he can become bhikkhu, right? So So at that time is Sotapanna is full moon of.
Sotapan.
Okay, so there is a. So we are talking about the Dhammacakka. Remember, Sutta is at the preach at the where? Full moon of.
Ausaha.
Visakha, is it?
Visakha. Visakha.
No. Visakha is
No.
the enlightenment.
Ausaha.
Asaha.
Asaha, okay. Full moon of Asaha. Visakha is enlightenment. That was how many? 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
So now, so on that day he become the Anyasi. He is called Anyasi. Why he is called Anyasi? Because after Dhammacakkappavattana, he's the
He
one
understand.
to know. Yeah, understand. That's why the Buddha said Anyasi Kondayo. The Kondayo has known. This is the past tense always, right? Aries. The Anyasi has known or understood already. Now, so the Buddha took residence. This one I copy from this Chronicle of Buddha. So on following day is the first waning moon of the. Do you know the meaning of waning moon?
Fading away of
Fading
the moon.
away, right? Because the full moon, right? The full moon, like today, I think tomorrow is full moon, right? So after that, the moon become fading away. So in Chinese, how you call it? In Chinese, a full moon is 15, 初一 then 15, then it will be like salute, huh? First waning one. Then the Buddha remained in the monastery without going out, spending time giving instruction Vapatera, right? The 5 remained so. Okay, so the next person to become enlightened is Vapatera, right? Then he spent the time giving to Badhyatera on the following day. There's a second waning moon. Then the third day to Mahanama, third waning. Then the fourth day to Asaji. Right? This one, so they become each day. So this means that they get enlightened at different day. After Kondaya will be Wapa, then Badia, Mahanama, Asaji. So they all become the Ehi Bhikkhu. So on the 5th waning moon of the month of Asaha, right? So if we call it like 初一十五, then it should be 20, or number 20.
20th.
Yeah, 20th, right?
20th.
Right. So the Buddha delivered the Anattalakkhanasutta in order the 5 bhikkhu become arahat with the Asawa extinguished. So when the Anattalakkhanasutta came to end, the group of 5 bhikkhu become arahat. All right. Now, so all right. So the days. Okay. Now why? Okay, why I explained just now? Why? Why do Buddha need to preach this discourse? Why? What's the answer?
Buddha has he has the psychic power to see the very high possibility that these 5 monks will be arahant, has the high potential. That's why he spent the effort to teach one by one.
All right. So means that to help them to gain the arahantship, right? Yeah. Because they at that time they what just now we say to extinguish the
Asavas.
remaining
Asavas.
defilements or any defilement, the asavas also, and also asawa. Asawa they translate as a canker, right? Now how did the Buddha help him? Okay, how?
The Lakkhana
No,
Sutta.
just now we already mentioned how did Buddha help him?
Some
Buddha
went
gave instruction. Yeah, some went
Giving
out,
instruction.
some remain.
Remain. Buddha
not all go
continue
out.
to teach.
Okay, so
To
the Buddha
instruct.
continued to teach, right? So Buddha continued. Okay, all right. So it's like continue to explain, right? because in order to help them to gain Arahant, which is not easy, so the Buddha need to pay attention to them. All right, so we know the question. The Buddha preached to the Panchavagya, the 5 group of bhikkhus, and because they who have already attained the first state enlightenment but not attained the arahantship. So where is it? The Megadaya. Right, we call it Isipatani, Isipatana.
Benares.
Benares. Benares means Varanasi. Yeah. 5 waning moon of the month Asaha. All right. Now, okay. So this is a background story you can get from the Chronicles of Buddha. It's a very good book to read because this book is written by the first Tipitaka. That means that he memorized the whole Tipitaka. Right? Do you know so during the 6th Buddhist Council, just for your general, for those maybe some of you know, all right? During this, where is the keyboard now? Okay, 6th Buddhist Council.
1954.
Where was that?
In Mandalay, is it? Burma, in Myanmar.
I think Yangon. Should be Yangon, right? Anyway, you put in Myanmar, all right? So 1950, 1954, all right? Okay, who's the questioner? Who's the answerer? Somebody must answer about the Tipitaka, and somebody must question about the answerer is the first, what's his name? The Wichita.
Very long, the name.
Wichita, what? Wichita, I think Biwangsa. Biwangsa is the title, right? Questioner is Mahasi Sayadaw. And why is this? He's qualified to answer because he's the first Tipitaka Sayadaw, right? He's the one that memorized the whole Tipitaka. We call it Tipitaka Dara, right? And Mahasi Sayadaw is the questioner. So, and this Anattalakkhanasutta, I get some of the points from this Tipitaka Sayadaw, from this Mahasi Sayadaw, because only Mahasi Sayadaw he explained very clearly about this. How do you contemplate the anatta? Okay, so it's interesting to read all this background story.
Saiji, the name is Wichita Sarabiwamsa.
Okay, Wichita Sarabiwamsa. Okay, the title is Abhivamsa. His name should be Wichita Sara, right? Okay. Now this one, here the information I get from there. So you can see he tells the exact date, right? Now let's look at the 10 factors. Okay. Right. So when somebody attend the first enlightenment, there will be
first 3 noble factors.
Yeah. There will be accumulated this personality belief. Okay. And then the skeptical doubts, clinging to mere rules and ritual, Silabata Paramasa. Okay. Okay. So this means that the 5 bhikkhu, they become Sotapanna, stream enterer. They are free from 1 and 3rd, right? So they already free from this. So at that time, when they become Sotapanna, they have no more this.
Sakaya Ditti.
Right. They also have no more this. Okay, and they have no more this.
Silabata Paramasa.
Okay, but they still have sensual craving, ill will. This is I think you all know, craving for the desire and so on, and then craving for the hatred, evil. This one means that want to born in the fine material, those higher Brahma, and those Alupa world. They still have conceit, all right? The mind still restless. This means that they will have wandering thoughts, and they still have ignorance. So this means that they have not totally penetrated the dependent origination, because only those penetrated dependent origination will remove the ignorance. So they still have how many? 1, 2, they still have 7. These are the things extraordinary, okay? 5 of these are called lower factors, Olam Bhagiya Samyojana, as they tie to sensual world. The later 5 are called higher factors, Udam Bhagiya. they tie to higher worlds, right? This one, when you study Abhidhamma, you get more detail. Okay. So beside factors, so another one, if they overcome the 4 and 5 in grosser form, is called Sakadagami. This is second level. And then who fully freed from 1 to 5 is called Anagami. Who is freed from all the 10 factors is called Arahant. Okay, all of them 10 Arahant. Okay, so just a kind of like brief here, because we are not studying Abhidhamma now. If we study Abhidhamma, we have to go all this very detailed. Okay, now, okay, this is a question now. Okay. Okay, when the 5 monks, they have attended the stream entry, right? So this means that they become the stream entry, the first level of, they have eradicated the 5 factors. Sakaya Ditti, personal belief to this I and self. Siddhabhata is sometimes we can translate as clinging to wrongful practice, rites and rituals. And then Vichikita, doubts, right? This is not the normal doubt. It's a doubt to do with the Dhamma or doubts with own practice. And now the question is, if they have eradicated the self here, but why do they still need to listen to this discourse of this Anattalakkhanasutta? Okay. The discourse on the characteristic. Okay. So how many of you have think about this?
Because they have not eradicated the sensuous world desires.
Okay.
That one is 4th and 5th only, ma. The
Okay.
4th and 5th factor.
Yeah, but they
five.
also not eradicate the others also, right? So
Yes.
okay. Yes. Besides Sumita, what else?
They still crave for fine material assistance. They still
Okay.
crave for immaterial assistance.
Okay, this means that they still have this defilement, right? Besides the essential craving, they are still crave for the future world. Okay.
That means the rest of all the 7
Yes.
factors they have not eradicated. That's the
Okay.
reason why they have to listen.
That's the reason. Okay. So maybe we can feel that one reason. So to eradicate the remaining defilements, all right? Okay, because they have not first, they have not achieved higher levels of path and cushion, and then so they still have to eradicate remaining factors, right? But now about this, the question is specific asking, right? All right, so now since they eradicate this self, but why do they still need to listen to non-self? No, because this Sakaya Ditti means that they already eradicate the clinging to this self or I. So why do they still need to listen to this non-self? Do you get the point? Besides Sumita, how about other people? Want to try?
Saibi,
Mm.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
This non-self is more subtle compared to the Sakaya Ditti.
This
It is
non-self is
more subtle. It's
okay.
like
You're talking about
the soul the belief that there's a permanent soul that transmigrates from one life to another life.
Okay.
Whereas
So
Sakaya Ditti is probably more gross, I think. It's,
okay, so you're thinking about they. So how should I write? Can you
a permanent soul.
they even they still have the idea of permanent soul?
Yes.
Are you sure? Here we already say they already have no this I or self. So why do they have the permanent soul?
Because I think that is the way they differentiate Sakaya Ditti and Anatta, I think.
Okay. All right.
I believe there are subtle
Okay.
differences.
Now this Sakaya Ditti, what is this Sakaya Ditti? I mean, according to what you learn, I mean, so far you've been reading something. What do you think this Sakaya Ditti is?
You call it personality view.
All right.
Wrong view.
Wrong view on what?
Wrong.
Feel that there's a self. Wrong view that there's a self.
Self, okay. Self on what? On? Wrong
The
view
five
on self
aggregates.
regarding what? Regarding what?
5 aggregates.
Okay, 5 aggregates, okay. 5 aggregates. And regarding the mind matter, right? Okay.
To me, is we should see there is a mind and a body.
All right, nama rupa, yeah, nama rupa mind aggregate, right? Yes. Okay. So this Sakaya Ditti means wrong view. They take this means that they take the 5 aggregates, mind matters, as
Self.
I,
Me, my.
self, and what else? So, my thing, or all these things, all right? So if they already eradicate this Sakaya Ditti, right? Now the question is, why do they still have to listen to this non-self, Anattalakkana? First, they have not achieved the higher path. They still have to eradicate the remaining factors. But there's also another important point. It's to do with the what? Look at the remaining factors, Look at this one. There's something interesting here.
Ignorant. It's still got ignorance.
Ignorance. Okay. Ignorance. Yes. Okay. So Sumitra say about sensual craving. Joyce say about this lupa. Okay. Then Veera say about this ignorance. Okay.
Saya J, can I say this one? The characteristic of non-self is not easy to discern.
Okay. Okay. So that's why the Buddha have to preach to them again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. There's one thing here. So you look at this conceit. All right. This conceit on what?
The I conceit.
All right. Yes. So this means that after they believe this one third year, they still have this I conceit. What is I conceit? You all heard about this?
So Ham asked me
Yeah. Okay.
Ego.
Ego. Okay. Ego. So this ego, is it a good ego or bad ego, or a real ego or bad ego, or what? Whatever ego.
Bad one.
Okay. All right. So this ego is like this, For example, like even like Sotapanna. Okay. Even a Sotapanna will feel that, okay, he will say, I am good in meditation. He's not telling lie, right? Okay, I'm a noble person, right? He's not telling lie. He really have this ego on these good things. So this means that it's what we have, like Brother Ko say, is a very subtle clinging. We say very subtle clinging on I. All right, Brother Ko?
Maybe the Sakaya Ditti is a view whereby he knows about it, but he hasn't lived with it. Whereas the the Anattalakkhanasutta here is actually a realization of it. So that is probably how we differentiate the subtleness of the I, my, mind.
Right. So Sakaya Ditti
Saji, can
is
it be that?
actually, yeah. Okay, you can say yes.
Saji, is it that he just eradicate the view of self?
Yeah,
That's not
all right.
right. So that
Yeah,
means
this
he
is
didn't
a
go
wrong
into
view. This is a wrong view. You see, Sakaya Ditti is a wrong view. Wrong view means that he take this five grace as I am mind. He rejected the wrong view, but there's still a very conceit. The idea, this means that this very, we call it the very subtle, in a way you can say clinging, because if you have the thought that I am good meditation, I am noble person, it means that the thought of clinging to this I am my very subtle one. So the kind of like conceit. Maybe we don't use the word conceit because how is it? Just say a very subtle of I. All right. Okay. So I think I lead somewhere, but I cannot find the reference. It's like what you say. They say like, for example, you put something. Maybe you put or let's say you put they put the kind of like alcohol in a wine or something like in a bottle, right? And then you wash the bottle, but there remains a very subtle smell of alcohol. Right? Can you follow?
Yeah.
Like even like you put a flower in a basket or whatever, after you wash it very clean, there will be remaining some subtle smell, right? This is just a similar. Yeah, something like that, right? Okay. Now, why do they need to listen to Anattalakkana? They are not achieve the higher level of path, and they still have to eradicate the remaining factors. They still have this I conceit. Because of this I conceit, I think the Pali is call it asmi mana, right? I conceit. Okay. Right. Okay, can follow? That's why they still need to listen to Anattalakkana, because the defilement is especially the 7 of them still remaining. Of course, finally the ignorance. If the ignorance is still there, that means that they are not become the Arahant yet. All right. So this is just remove the wrong view on I. This is doubts on, for example, this will be doubt on like Dhamma, on the Buddha, on Triple Gem, or doubt on all meditation. Like sometimes you might karma, yeah, okay. Any religion thing, karma is included in Dhamma, right? So this is like wrongful practice. What kind of wrongful practice during the Buddha time? Like worship the fire,
cow
cow practice, dog practice, or whatever practice, all right? Okay. So if they practice up to the stage number 3, anagami, then they will be okay. So anagami will be eradicated 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. This means that anagami, since eradicate 1 to 5, right? So anagami, okay, has eradicated
5 factors.
So, yeah. So because of no more kama raga, so anagami will not come back to the world. So that's what anagami means called what? Non-returner, will not come back again. All right. Okay. Now we finished now that this is called theory only and discussion. Okay.
Saji,
yes,
Jenny,
Jenny?
just want to ask a question on the I conceit. Does it include like what do you call superiority, that you feel that you're superior than other people? Does it
Yes.
include that
Yes.
part?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So we can look at the answer at the Buddha is teaching, just page 72. All right. I think it's not here, but anyway, we can go through here. So the so-called beings composed of 5 aggregates. Outside of beings, outside of 5, there are no being. If one remove the 5 aggregates, nothing remains. So the soul, atta, is neither in one of the aggregate of other, one of the group, or in the group, or outside the group. So the Buddha made assertion in contact with each of the remaining 5 aggregates of co-beings. What I'm trying to say that we have 5 aggregates. It's not the soul atta is not inside, it's not outside the five aggregates, right? So that's why the Buddha in this Anattalakkhanasutta, he go one by one, one by one, one by one, right? Because if the Buddha don't preach in this way, then people will still cling to any of these five aggregate, cling it as I. Like they will say, oh, my feeling is good, my body is good, yeah, super complex. But this is compared to worldly people, they have this idea. Their idea is good because they are very good in meditation. They are a noble person. They are not making a wrong statement here. Okay, Jenny? There is some conceit. We say better use the word conceit. All right.
Okay, thank you, Raji.
Okay, right. Now, Anattalakkhanasutta is talking about five aggregates. All right. So when we see the five aggregates, what is the difference from nama rupa? Of course, you know. Let us do this one, right? So rupa khanda, how you translate? Aggregate of
Form.
form. Okay. Another way,
Matter.
materiality.
Material.
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 Okay. Okay. What else? Any other translation? Yeah, I see. Okay. Feeling. Degree of feeling.
Feeling.
Now,
Perception. Mental formation. Volition.
how many translation possible?
Mental formation.
Mental formation.
Formation. Maybe formation, I think.
Volition.
Volition. No. Volition is chetana. Okay.
Yeah.
Degree of
Consciousness.
consciousness. Now, nowadays we don't use the form because form can confuse with other meaning of form. So nowadays, last time they translate with the form. Nowadays we just use the materiality. Okay. So out of this, how many belong to rupa? How many belong to nama?
Rupa belongs to rupa.
Rupa, all right. The rest,
Is nama.
nama. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the five aggregate can be compared with your finger, with your hand. If you notice your hand, you have 5 fingers, right?
Yes.
So the first one is the thumb.
Thumb.
It looks very short, short and fat. It looks like the rupa. Our body is short and fat. Okay. Just a similar. I always think that five aggregate is always look like the thumb. Okay. Now, why do we need to, from the nama rupa, why do we need to break down? All right. The answer already mentioned in this Buddha and teaching. First, we must know that these beings composed of these 5 aggregates, right? So outside, they are not in the atta is not in and not in all of them. All right. It's not inside, it's not outside. Right. So that's why we need to contemplate one by one. So to make sure that we don't have the idea that atta is inside the aggregate, one or aggregate, it's not outside. And that's why we need to calculate one by one, right? So that's why if Anattalakkhanasutta, you notice that it will repeat 5 times. Rupa, then Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, then it repeat again. So if you notice the Pali, actually it's quite easy to chant like what we chant just now. So, okay, we go for the English translation first. I think we're going. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, when you analyze the sutta, there's always, in Buddha's teaching is considered, we call it, in Chinese, we call it san sua, yes, what, swagato. Because Buddha teaching can divide to 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, where he gives the actual teaching, and the conclusion. So the beginning will be here, right? This is the beginning. Thus have I heard. So Varanasi, or now is Varanasi, in the dear part Megadaya is Patane. Now he addressed the bhikkhus of 5 group Mankas bhikkhu, and then the Buddha said, now start with the form, feeling, then repeat the whole thing, feeling, perception, volition. Okay, it's translated as a volitional formation. This one of translation. So we can look at this translation and we consider, is it so we can look at, let's say we consider it whether it is a good translation or not. Okay, the conclusion, the introduction will show the place, the Buddha, and then the Buddha preached to the Panchavagya. Right? Then this statement will repeat 5 times. All right. So the first one is talking about, here you notice that here is actually the Buddha is making a kind of like, we call it is making a statement here. But sometimes we call it in the teaching, sometimes Buddha just make a statement in order to make the listener interested, no? To make the audience. Right? After that, there will Q&A, all right? So it start with the form in non-self. For if the form was self, this form will not lead to affection. It will be possible to have the form. All right, now it translates the lupa as a body, all right? So we can write form or body. Let it be thus, let it not be thus. But because the form is non-self, form leads to affection, it won't be possible to okay. Okay, now from this statement, the Buddha is making this statement. So what kind of statement it is trying to make? Any feedback, any of you? If you look at this statement, what do you think in your mind?
Trying to say that the form is not self.
Okay, try to say the form
Doesn't
is
listen
non-self.
to us.
Okay, so doesn't listen to us. Okay, why doesn't listen to us?
Because if it listen to us, we say
Don't get
I
sick, don't get
health,
Don't
pain,
get sick, don't get pain.
don't get
all right?
pain.
that is
So
still
Alright.
pain.
So it's beyond our control.
Okay, so beyond the control, so the Buddha is trying to show that the anatta by this statement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so beside this, what else? Other students, what do you think? Beside the showing the uncontrollable, showing the anatta, what else is Buddha trying to show by this statement?
That means it's impermanent.
Okay,
It's
beside the
impermanent.
impermanent, beside the anatta, what else?
Leads to
The
affliction.
body affliction, that means will decay. As long as there's birth, there will be old age, there will be decay,
Okay.
sickness and death.
Okay, all right. Okay, how about other students? How about Wong? Sometimes must ask those the quiet one. Wong?
Saya sorry, I muted.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am
What do you think?
non-self.
Okay. Okay, you think for a while, and then how about others? Amy and Doris, what do you think from this statement?
It mentioned affliction, so that means it's suffering.
Okay, yeah, suffering and yes. So here the Buddha are trying to show what? What do you think?
Impermanent, suffering, non-self.
The Buddha didn't show impermanence here. So what the Buddha trying to show?
I think more to affliction, that means suffering. Because
Okay, so it's showing the suffering, right? Suffering in the body, right? In the body.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
Saji, the body will control us, not we are controlling the body.
Body control us.
The
Okay. Karma. Okay. All right. Body is subject to karma. All right. We can maybe it's subjected to karma. Okay. Okay. What else beside this?
The Buddha was trying to show that you have no control over this form. It's a
Okay.
leading statement.
All right.
And
lead to uncontrollable. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not under control.
Yeah, uncontrollable. Right. Our body is because of suffering. Because of suffering, affliction. Suffering means affliction, right? Suffering means that. So we have to affliction. It means that it leads to suffering in the body, and this suffering means that it's uncontrollable, and then maybe the body subject to come up. So when the suffering and affliction, what kind of actually you just need to say the Buddha trying to show the truth. Natural, okay, natural truth, right or no? So you see, the Buddha is making a statement here. The Buddha is trying to make the audience interested. So this statement, besides the explanation, actually the Buddha is just trying to show the natural truth in our life. By showing, listen to that, that's why their mind is interested and can see in their own body. They have such affliction, such suffering, such uncontrollable nature. Okay, can you follow me?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, then go for feeling, perception, volition, and emotion. All right. Then it's also, this point is keep on repeating. All right. Consciousness. All right. Now, before we go for this question answer, you know, the Buddha asked if it, impermanent or impermanent. Okay. Now let's go back. These 5 aggregates. I hope you all have studied or meditate on these 5 aggregates before. Right. Now, of course, you know the aggregates means that this is talking about, it's about your, in Abhidhamma is all these 28 materials and things, 10 materialities. Okay, formula in brief is just our body. I think you feeling, you all know, right? How many feelings can you get? Normally is
Three types of feeling. 3 types of feeling.
So they are
Present, unpleasant, and neutral.
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 Then mental.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
if you're talking about mental, there are 5,
50
right?
plus.
5.
So how do you get 5?
Domanasa.
Somanasa, Domanasa. So how do you get 5?
Plus 3 plus this 3. This pleasant and unpleasant is bodily.
Okay. 3 feeling in the mind as above, plus the 2
In the body.
in the body. Body is we call it sukha.
The body,
sukha,
2
dukkha.
in the mind.
Sukha, dukkha.
2 in the mind or 3 in the mind.
2
Can you
in
remember?
2 in the mind, 3 in the body.
3 in
So
the body.
Somanasa and Domanasa is mind.
Domanasa.
Okay.
Three in the
Somanasa.
mind. 3 in the mind.
3 in the
Body
mind.
is Sukha,
Because
Dukkha, Masukan, Maduka.
Because
Sukha,
when we
dukkha,
Wait.
manuka.
Listen to Melinda. Melinda, yes?
when we meditate, sometimes our feeling is present, we know it, and then sometimes unpleasant, maybe our mind also sometimes are wandering away, and sometimes we get this neutral feeling. It means we are neither pleasant or unpleasant.
So 3 in
During
the
our
mind.
meditation, we can feel it.
So 3 in the mind, so 2 in the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this one, we need to study Abhidhamma again in future. All right. Okay. Let's just leave it. Okay. 3 or 5. Now, what is this perception, sanya? How do you know this sanya khanda? Perception of what?
From the memories, from our past memories.
Okay. So normally just briefly it's talking about memories. Okay. What else besides memories? You're thinking about something, is this sanya khanda? Marks about what? Marks about what do you make marks?
Perception. Perception.
Perception on
certain
what?
on form or
form and
shape,
shape.
form, shape,
Okay.
Smell, all these things.
All right. Yeah. So in a way we call it perception, right? Yes. Okay. Right. So it can divide to largely if we are talking about memories, all right, or perception about something, like your perception about the sound, like how you say the shape and so on, right? So it's the same. And then the Sankhara Khanda, how many things you have in this?
50.
Right? 50, right? So how do you get 50?
52.
Okay, let's
50.
yeah. So let's go for simple Abhidhamma, all right? So in Abhidhamma, we have how many? The 28 rupa, So we have 89 consciousness, 89 chittas, something, 89 chittas, or 1-to-1, and then you got 52. Why you always go there?
Cetasika.
Mental factors.
Cetasika.
Okay,
Cetasika
so
or mental
mental.
factors.
All right. So out of the 52, so you have if you take out the Vedana, and then you take out the Sanya,
50.
so means the eliminating is only 50, all right? So you got this 50. Right. So now when you meditate, which one is obvious? So we are talking about in terms of meditation. If you are going to meditate on these 5 aggregates, so how do you meditate on these 50? It's impossible to meditate 50 at one time, right? So which one will you meditate in meditation? I mean,
Rupa.
Rupa is already mentioned above. So for this Sankara Kanda.
Oh.
Saji, the one which is stronger. The
Contact.
Contact, all right. Contact, okay.
Contact
with the
feeling.
sound.
Asa with
Feeling.
Vedana.
Feeling already mentioned here. Feeling is mentioned
Okay.
on the above.
Okay.
So feeling you don't take because feeling already. So beside the contact. So what else? Remember we got 52.
52.
Up the 52 minus 2, so you got 50.
Vedana Sanya.
All right. So what else can you meditate?
Hasa with Sankara.
The negative ones lah.
Upadana.
You don't like one lah.
Like what?
Aversion lah.
Okay, hatred, yes. Anger, yes. And
Delusion.
greed, right? Yeah, the
Delusion.
Lobha also. Okay, what else?
Loba, dosa, moha.
Moha, yeah, maybe difficult to meditate.
How to meditate?
Okay, when you're doing the walking meditation, so what is obvious here when you're doing walking meditation?
Elements.
Contact.
No,
The
walking
intention.
meditation.
Intention.
Yes, you can
The intention.
intention to go, and then effort to walk, effort in walking. Yeah, all right. All these are obvious when you're doing the walking meditation. The effort to walk, intention to go, and
Chetana.
Chetana is intention to go, right?
Already Chetana.
Okay, now we are talking about Chetana, right? Chetana we normally translate as intention. So sometimes we translate as the word volition, right? Volition. So now if we are translate the Chetana as volition, now we are translate this volitional formation. Is it good translation or not? I think nowadays, no. People nowadays, they don't use this one already.
Mental.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Maybe we can just look at it different translation. Sometimes they translate mental formation, or maybe we just use the word formation. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, consciousness. What kind of consciousness that you can meditate? We are talking about the one that you can meditate, no? Because if the Buddha is teaching the Anattalakkhanā, it must be the something that they can meditate on. Okay. All right. So which one? Aversion.
Loba, dosa, moha.
Are they consciousness? Okay, you're talking about loba, mula, chitta, right? Okay, the greed. Okay, the greed.
Those are formation.
Rooted consciousness. Okay. Okay, loba, mula.
The sixth sense consciousness.
Loba, adosa, amoha.
Yeah, but actually you're talking about loba dosa is more on this sankhara, right? Vira.
Yeah.
So now if you think this is better in terms of meditate on the sixth sense consciousness. Okay.
Yeah.
Eye, what? Eye, ear,
nose,
tongue,
internal as
taste,
well as external.
Tongue, taste,
body.
Okay. So all these are easier, right? Easier to meditate when you are talking in 5 aggregate. Like the loba dosa is better meditate under the samsara.
Saji, eye, nose, tongue, body.
Then the last, the mind consciousness.
Eye, nose, tongue. Sorry,
mind mind consciousness.
Okay, mind, yeah, okay. Just generally mind, because the mind is actually is a big object here. Yeah, just put mind consciousness also. Or any mental consciousness. Okay, just put mind, all right? Because if you are divided to 6 aggregate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, enough, right? So this one can meditate, right?
This one
So
is Satipatthana also.
Yes. Satipatthana also to do. Anything is also. Satipatthana is a because so the body. So okay, let's do 28 materiality. So which one can you meditate? Of
The
course,
four
we are not
elements.
going to. Yes, 4 elements, 4 great elements: earth, water,
Fire,
okay, fire,
Fire,
and
wind.
earth,
Wind.
Patawi. So
Yeah.
apo,
Tejo, Vayu.
water, water,
Tejo.
fire. Fire, we call it the fire, and fire, so wind. Okay. So what else can you meditate?
External, internal object.
Okay, so any object, so internal object, okay, and maybe external object like the sight, okay, sound,
Smell, taste,
smell, yeah, taste, okay, touch, tangible object. All right, so this one I think is easier to meditate. All right, so feeling, I think any good feeling, or normally we just translate good feeling, bad feeling, neutral feeling, so you can meditate. Sanya is when you see something, you note the form, not the shape, or memories, or you kind of we call it, sometimes we call it we use the word label, label, how we label the things. Like you see somebody, you label him like for those you all have son, you label, oh, my son, my family, and so on. It's how we label things. Okay, and then this is
Recognition. How about recognition?
recognition
Or
also
Sanya?
can also
Recognition.
memories or recognition can also. But recognition is actually more towards consciousness, if we are talking about recognition. So we just leave it, all right, memory, label. So this is a big group that you can meditate. But this is, we call it active one. In a way, it's quite active. So great hatred, delusion, intention, effort to walk. Maybe also good one like wisdom. If you want to put in this one, wisdom group and so on. Okay. All right, so now we know about this. Okay, so let's go back to the sutta. So I think this Anattalakkhanasutta we will not finish one day because it's a long. It's very important also. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to Q&A. So before we go in Q&A, let's go to Pali first. All right. Just I think most of you are Pali students, except Melinda. Have you learned Pali before? Melinda.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Big brother count. Big brother
Okay.
count for grammar only.
Grammar.
My Pali is not very good.
How about
Saiji.
Amy? Okay, Melinda. How about Amy? You are in the Pali class, right? Amy?
Yeah, I don't know Bali.
You don't know Pali.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can look at the Pali. Okay, let's look at some of the Pali, because from the Pali we also learn. Okay, let's look at introduction just now. Okay, ekam samayam, at one time, Bhagawa Varnesiyam Viharati isi patani mikataye. All right, so he talk about the place, big place first, then the Isipatane and Migadaya. Migadaya is smaller, Varanasi is big. But actually, if the Migadaya is a forest, then it will be maybe near to the city. If Varanasi is a city, if you take it as a city, then Migadaya is near to it. Tatrako Bhagawa, the Buddha, Panchavagiye Bhikkhu, all right, Amantasi. Right now you can see it's a past tense. Aries, Bikawo is a verb. Badante, it's like sometimes they translate a vulnerable one, but Bada is actually present, the meaning of Bada. Just translate vulnerable one or vulnerable, yes sir, something like that. Te biku bhagavato pacha sosum. Maka edada wacha. Okay, now we look at the Pali. Since it's Anattalakkana, so we see how they get enlightenment by listening to Pali. Okay, lupam bikawe anatta, lupam chahidam bikawe atta abhavisa, naidam lupa abadaya savateya, labeta cha lupe, ewame lupam hoto, ewame lupam ma ohositi, yasma chako bikawe lupa anatta, tasma lupa abadaya savatati, nacha labati lupe, ewame lupam hoto, ewame lupam ma ohositi. Now, the Buddha, here you can see, it's not a question. He made a statement, no? The lupa, the body, is anatta. So if this lupa is atta, okay, and then it will not lead to affliction, right? Not to live, and it can be obtained in this form. Ewa me lupa ho, may my form, may is may my form, may my body. Evam you can say in this way, in such way, right? Evam me malupa mahositi, may my form not in this way. Yasma, because the lupa is anatta, that's why the lupa lead to suffering, abada. Okay, and you cannot obtain the lupa. May my form, my lupa be in this way, evam, may my form in that way. Then the Buddha repeat this statement 3 times, 4 times, same thing. So when the Buddha is trying to repeat like this, is just make sure that they understand the lupa is not anatta. The feeling is also not anatta. The sanya is also not anatta. The sankhara is also not anatta. The vijnana is not anatta, right? Because the keyword is that if these are atta, then they will not lead to suffering, right? And we can control our things, like you can say, make this is imperative here, make it be this and make it be that, or let it be this, let the form like that. Okay, and then Buddha made a yasma and then made a conclusion. Okay, so we look at the English. Okay, the Buddha made a statement, the form is non-self. If the form is self, it will not lead to affection. This is we call it logic and theory, no? Because if you look at the sutta, you notice that the logic is very strong here. The logic is, if this form is non-self, if the form is self, if the form really belong to us, then it's definitely our form, our body will not cause the affection, not lead to suffering. And it's possible for your body to be, let my body, form, you think of the body is like, the form is like, talking about this simple English, let my body be dust. Okay, make my body not be dust. Okay. Now, normally, what do people want their body to be? All right. Normally, we want our body to be no suffering. What else? Beautiful, happy, young. Okay. Besides young, beautiful, handsome, what else?
Don't decay.
Healthy, everlasting,
Last
last longer. Okay. No need to take bath. No need to take shower, right?
Be beautiful always.
Yeah. Do you know why do we take shower every day?
Keep ourselves clean so that we'll be healthy.
Yeah, but why ourselves not clean, Okay. What kind of affection? Yes, what kind of affection we have in our body, right? You think about it. Affection means your body will get sick, all right? Get dirty, right? Not clean. Why the body not clean? Okay.
Impure.
impurities.
Yes, because we have impurity coming from the body, right? Impurity coming out from the body. That's why we have to take shower, All right. Okay. Last time I had one volunteer. She's from Germany. She's a Vietnam. When she stayed in Mongolia, she was Germany. The young people, they travel around the world. So when they stay in Mongolia, and then she noticed that the people 1 month they didn't take shower. So I was listening to it. I said, how can we 1 month don't take shower? It's impossible in Myanmar or Malaysia. Why? Because the weather is very hot. We sweat a lot, right? Yeah. But in certain part of the world, people don't take shower because lack of water, like Africa, lack of water. But they managed to find ways to keep the body clean. Like Mongolia is a very cold, like Russia, all these are very cold country. So they don't sweat out a lot. But for us, because we are in Malaysia, hot weather, we sweat. Even here, it's actually very hot, right? So the impurity coming out from the body. Okay? So this affection is talking about all this you see is a natural truth about our body, you know. We get sick, we get dirty. So when we practice vipassana, you know, one of the practice of vipassana besides the anicca, dukkha, anatta is what? Anicca, dukkha, anatta, another one is asubha, right? So if you practice vipassana, you practice 4 ways: anicca, dukkha, anatta, and asubha. So you see the body is asubha. So if our form is self, so we want the body to be in a good shape, all right? We don't want the body to get sick, to get dirty, right? So because the body is if the form is non-self, so the body, the form lead to affection. So it's not possible to have the form. Let my form be tasked and let my form not be tasked. All right. So by this statement, the Buddha is trying to tell the bhikkhu to understand the nature of the body. All right, we call it the actual fact, the real truth. Sometimes we call it the nature or real facts or real truth, whatever way. So in Pali, we have the word yata bhuta. Okay, as it really is. Okay, now up to this one, do you agree with the Buddha statement? Yes or no? Do you agree that your body is not self?
Must be yes lah, otherwise cannot become Arahant.
Okay, all right. So if you agree with statement, then you'll be you continue with the feeling. Now we're talking about feeling in non-self. The statement is repeat as above, all right? Then perception. Now talking about feeling, all right? So the feeling, the Buddha said the feeling is actually, if we are going to repeat, we are going to repeat the whole statement there, right? Right. So the feeling will lead to affection. Okay. What kind of affection it can be? If the feeling is a self, it will the feeling, okay, will not lead to affection. All right. Now, what kind of affection the feeling will lead to? For example, what kind of affection?
Both mental and physical.
For example?
Anger, like anger.
Anger is not feeling. Anger is not really considered feeling here. So what
Emotion.
Emotion, okay.
Anger is emotion.
Okay, like pleasant feeling will make us feel happy.
Okay, all right. So we are talking affection here. So what kind of it will be not pleasant feeling, it will be unpleasant feeling, right? So such as unpleasant feeling. What kind of unpleasant feeling you will get? For example.
Emotion.
No. Don't confuse with emotion. Emotion we can put under the consciousness or perception. We are talking about just feeling only. Right?
Unpleasant.
Feeling, if it is pleasant, you have to be careful also. Unpleasant also, you have to be careful. Otherwise,
no. Okay. I know it's unpleasant feeling. Give me the okay, painful. What else? What else?
Bodily and mentally feeling.
Yeah, for example, give me more example.
Agreeable feeling, painful feeling.
Okay. Beside the pain.
Stressful.
Okay, stressful. Can your body be stressful?
Mentally stressful.
Okay, so you're talking mental feeling, right? Mental unpleasant feeling, all right? Now we can divide the feeling into two, all right? Mental feeling and maybe mental unpleasant bodily feeling. Right, okay, body feeling is like what? All right, you're talking about stress, all right? So you're talking about stress. Okay, what else?
sadness.
Fear.
Okay, fear,
mental.
all right. Mental fear, all right. How about the body? Body should be easy, right? Body feeling. Now, when you meditate, you notice that your body is subject to what kind of affliction, make your body very uncomfortable.
Pressure.
Heat,
Pressure.
heat, cold.
Pressure.
Yeah, heat and
Cold,
cold.
yes.
and
Too
cold.
hot. Too
Yeah.
hot.
Hot.
What else?
Pressure.
Pressure. What kind of
How
pressure?
about tense?
Tense. Tense is a mental
Body
feeling.
very tense.
Okay, body a few tense, all right. Body tense, all right. All right. So and other if the ants bite you, so they will be
Itchy.
itch, right? Itchiness, what itches, right? So body feeling. Mental feeling will be stress, fear, okay, all this anxiety, yeah. Okay. So all this will not, if the feeling is self, all right, the feeling will not lead to affection. So if you have all these feeling, that means that the feeling is not self, is non-self at all. So I think everybody will agree. If you have all this bad feeling, that means that the feeling is not self at all, right? Okay, now perception.
There's an indifferent feeling as well, isn't it? Neutral feeling.
All right, okay. So we have the neutral feeling. Okay, what kind of neutral feeling? Okay, you know what's the meaning of neutral feeling?
Neither
Neutral.
neither pleasant nor unpleasant.
Okay, neither pleasant. It's we call it a middle feeling. So neither, or just when neither pleasant
nor
nor
unpleasant.
unpleasant. All right. So is this feeling easy to detect or not? Not sometimes not easy. Yeah. Okay. Even in Vipassana, actually in Vipassana, we talk about this neutral feeling sometimes is considered as pleasant feeling, right? Because the mind likes it, right? So even neutral feeling, we can get attached to it. Okay. Okay, I think you know about how about perception, all right? So what we need to give ourselves, what kind of perception that leads to affliction, to leads to suffering. How come perception? Perception. For example,
we crave for the same feeling when we eat something. Like previously we had this food, then we like the feeling, the pleasant taste. But the next time when we taste the same food, but it's not the same, so we will think back of the past feeling. So will make us feel not happy.
So you're talking about clinging to perception.
Yeah, clinging to taste, previous past taste of food.
So attachment to previous perception. All right, you're talking about like this, right? Okay. So what kind of perception? The meaning of perception means that we are talking about perception means a mark that you see something or you hear something. For example, maybe I would say the best one is a perception. You perceive someone as enemy. That will lead you have suffering, right?
Yeah.
Every time you see this person, you get very angry, right or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So also, if you perceive things as ghosts, so midnight you cannot go to the toilet. Why?
Scared.
When we say there's a ghost in the house, how you know there's a ghost in the house? For example, sound, right? Maybe unfamiliar sound.
Odor.
Or
eerie feeling.
All right. Okay. Eerie feeling. Yeah. Okay. Right. So that's how our perception make us suffering. Okay. Right. Besides, I think ghost is very good because everybody, even the child, they start to get frightened because the father, mother threatened them that the ghost is coming. All right. Okay. What else?
Bodily impression.
Bodily impression about what?
like the pain arise and cease.
All right. So you're talking about perception based on unpleasant feeling, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So when you perceive it as what? As itch, as pain, okay? That's what you call it perception. Means actually the meaning of perception is kind of like that's why in Vipassana we talk about labeling, you know, how we label in our mind, okay, in the mind. So when you based on the perception means you label something as itch, right, and so on.
Bad experience.
Yeah, bad experience. For example, what is bad experience that you will label? How come bad experience? That's okay. So like we're talking about memory, bad experience, bad memory on what? For example, maybe failure in exam, you know, that kind of thing. So what kind of bad experience, memory that you're maybe stress in exam, or I think most of you are taking exam, so you're going to stress on exam. All right, so now with perception. Now volition, all right, so since that we have all these affliction, so that's why it's perception in non-self. Now, volition, formation. So what kind of formation it can be? Yeah, 50 of them, right? 50 of them. So like just now we talked about, you can greed here, hatred.
Okay. Saji, I thought you said don't use the word volitional, just put formations.
Yeah, it's okay. I copy from the text above. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So greed, hatred. What else?
Delusion.
Moha, delusion. Yes, all these are three. We call it three evil roots.
Poison.
Okay. What else? Formation all will lead to. All these are papancha. What is papancha here? Maybe wrong view also. Wrong view also. Yeah. There are many things here. May also, like we say, effort. Okay, sometimes you have wrong effort also. Sometimes you have bad intention, right? Chetana, you create bad karma. So we'll create the bad karma. Okay. Okay, you all can follow, right? So now, this one I think is easy because there are many things. Or maybe sometimes it's not easy because too many things. There are 50 of them. Now, consciousness, right? Then the Buddha say, this is the same statement. If you look at the Pali, it's actually same. It just changed to consciousness. So if the container was self, it will not lead to affliction, right? So now, consciousness that leads to affliction. What kind of consciousness? For example?
High consciousness.
High consciousness, what do you see?
Color.
See object or form.
Can
See
lead to
object or form.
To upadana, if you are not careful.
Okay.
Attachment to form, object, or
clinging. Cause clinging, all right. Okay, so all these consciousness can generally we are talking about what you say is all maybe consciousness.
6 types of consciousness
can lead to attachment, and clinging. But why they can lead her? Because like for example, I consciousness see good side, all right, good side. Okay, so or sometimes we can see it lead to affection by seeing bad side. What kind of bad side? Sad things. Okay, car accident, right? Car accident. What else? Normally, do you see car accident happen in front of you? Do you see? Have you any of you see before? Right in front of you? No. I mean, have you any of you? Normally, when you watch the TV, they don't show the dead body, right? Do they show the dead body in the TV?
During the pandemic, they got no choice. So eerie.
Oh, okay. So they show the dead body. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. But I think sometimes like the children, they don't let the children see all these things. Actually, should let the children see all these natural things. dead body, car accident, all this. Okay. Now, ear. Okay.
Attached to nice sound.
What
Nice
kind of
music.
thing? Hear what? Hear.
Hear
No, I mean
music,
cause to
pleasant.
affection, for example.
Screaming.
Like earthquake, volcanic eruption when there's
Okay,
a
so all these
disaster,
are earthquake,
tragedy.
Tragedies.
disasters, sound. Okay, maybe ghost sound also.
Or bombing, then they are very scared.
Bombing, yeah, bombing, yeah. Okay, bomb sound, right? Bomb sound. Okay, so now, so if our consciousness is, if the conscious will self, the conscious will not lead to affection, and if possible to have this or conscious, let my conscience be dust. Right, this means that let my consciousness only see. So when we see this Pali or this English is very generous English, means that let my consciousness. Okay, let my okay, let the consciousness let my consciousness see, or maybe we say get good object only. Okay, let my consciousness be dust means that let my consciousness get good object. Don't let my consciousness get bad object, because our consciousness arises due to object. Without object, the consciousness will never arise. Okay, so if you want to have good consciousness, then the consciousness need to get good object all the time. Is it possible?
No.
So this means that you all the time you hear the good sound, you see the good sight, you have the good body touch, you don't feel hot and cold, right? So it's not possible.
Sayadaw, can I ask a
Yes.
question? You're talking about consciousness. Let's say you see something, an object, and then it's actually neutral. But because of your past experience, it makes you think of, you know, something that bad happened connected to that object. Let's say you, you saw a vase, but I mean, previously you also have quite similar vase, but it's already broken. So it makes you think of, you know, your broken vase. So is this under this consciousness category or
okay. So this one we can put here, right? So actually in Abhidhamma, all right. So at the moment of seeing, okay, the eye consciousness, for example, the eye consciousness, it just we call it, it's just a resultant object. It's just a resultant means that it's just a resultant consciousness. It just arise taking the object only, right? So there are no consideration. So like you say, after after considering, and then the, like you see the vase and then you consider the vase is the, like the whole story, and then all the story come out, right?
Yeah.
So it's happened later, but at the moment of consciousness, it's just the mind is a neuter, all right? Most of the time it's neuter. Like eye consciousness is considered as a neuter at the moment of seeing. Neutral feeling, right? So after contact with the story, then you know, then the mind then means that, sorry, then the required the it go to mind though, and then you think about it, and then there will be a sad feeling and so on. Okay, so the feeling come later, but actually in Abhidhamma, at the moment of seeing, it's just neutral. The mind is neutral with a neutral feeling. Okay, so we will stop here. So I think it's one, yeah, it's okay. So because this is a very important sutta, so it's better we divide to two. And I hope you all go back and see whether it's possible for you to meditate. The five aggregates is actually, I would say, more difficult than to meditate than Namarupa. Namarupa is easy. Mind, you know, the body and mind, body, mind. Five aggregate is more difficult to meditate, right? Because it's a more detailed, and then you have to really think about how does sanya arise, how does feeling arise. I think feeling is easier to meditate. Sanya is a little bit difficult. I have to think about it. All right, okay. So we finish it. So okay, so see you all next time. All right.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Sayaji, for
Thank
the
you,
teaching.
Sayaji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sadhu, 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 Saji. Take care.
Thank you,
Thank
Saji.
you.
Thank you,
Okay, bye-bye.
Saji.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sadhu, 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 Sayaji.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you, Saji.
Okay.